And yeah, I like the sound of that, and I have been incorporating like my MIDI keyboard just because like I get obsessed with like, I don't know, oh, there's gonna be a little bassoon here. Like, I don't know, it's like I always want to add like more layers and more layers.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, I like acoustic music, and
I feel like, you know, if you start performing shows, that'll kind of like be the easiest way to start out with, you know, because you'll really only need your guitar unless, you know, you want to bring some kind of backing track. But
yeah, actually, I think that was actually a little part of it too. Is I was like, well, if I'm gonna do a tour, I should have some songs that are acoustic, because then I can just play those songs, and then just choose a couple of my like other songs that translate well onto acoustic guitar. Because like some of them translate great, some of them translate horribly.
Right.
Like one of my songs from the first album, "Witch of the Woods," I tried to play that song a bunch of times on acoustic guitar. Every time it sounded like trash. Don't know why, just doesn't sound good acoustic. But another song, "Trudging About," that song sounds awesome on acoustic. I think it's just a better song, so I think that's why.
With your acoustic songs, you're planning on releasing a new single every 3 weeks.
Yep.
And you have 15 in total.
Yes. However, ideally the plan is pretty solid plan is basically I have actually only 3 more, and then I'm going to release the full album.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause to be completely honest, there's a lot of songs that are just like kind of not worth highlighting. I think they're good songs, but like, I don't think they're good enough to be like, listen to this for 3 weeks. I want to have like some really awesome songs, and then just a bunch more songs where if like you liked this, like you can delve into it. I mean, I even have one song that's like a 5-minute song that's like, I think I'm gonna put in parentheses a meditation song, because like it's kind of just like it's super repetitive. And the whole idea of the song was it to be sort of like a meditative thing, and to just like make you feel really good. And that's what it does for me. So I don't know. There's gonna be like there's weird stuff in there. There's 2 songs that are I just took the microphone and recorded start to finish, like one take, and I actually recorded on video too. So like those ones also are like so like they're cool. But they're so different and like low, quote unquote, low production wise that like I wouldn't want to highlight that for like a few weeks. So
yeah, and I like that you've been kind of releasing these like, you know, these music videos along with them of, you know, yourself performing them, because it, instead of it being this like, you know, big production, it's more of an intimate setting, so it feels like your listeners can really identify with you on a more personal level than, you know, just seeing this high production music video where you're like lip syncing on screen.
Yeah. Honestly, the videos are kind of tough because like I'm not like a super visual arts person. There's been a grand total of 3 times where I've made a song and I'm like, oh, this would be a good idea for a music video. And one of them was actually just this last song, which you're going to be showing later, Lost in a Dream. And then the other one was my song Awake from like 2 albums ago. And that was the one where I'm like running around outside and just like kicking trees. It's like super stupid, but like for some reason, like when I wrote the song and when I was playing the song, I don't know why it just popped in my mind of like, you should just do something that doesn't make any sense with this. And I had in my mind me climbing a tree and yelling at a flower. And I was like, that just sounds funny. And for some reason, I can really envision that with this chorus. Like, I don't know why the hell I did it. And like, but I follow those artistic things. The same thing happens with like writing lyrics. Sometimes I'll write a lyric and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense, but like, I am feeling guided to do this.
Yeah.
So I just have to do it.
Exactly. Awesome. So, of the 3 that you've released so far, the acoustic songs, which one's your favorite?
Definitely the most recent one.
Lost in a Dream.
It's a little tied with the previous one, Perception. Just because perception is very much so encapsulates this like dark druid type feeling that I really like. But the Lost in a Dream one, I feel like is one of my more like honest songs. Because I remember when I wrote the lyrics, I was like, man, it's kind of hard. I don't know, it was like kind of hard to sing about, and I was like, it's a little rough and like depressing, but I'm like, oh, that's how I'm kind of feeling right now, so I just like went with it. So yeah, and I think musically, I think Lost in a Dream is a little more impressive. So like, I think musically it's a little more, yeah. So yeah, I don't know, those two are a little tied, but I think Lost in a Dream wins it.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, the first single of yours that we're going to listen to today is Wizard of the Mountains, and that's from your second album.
Yep.
Curse of Infinite Luminosity. Where did you come up with that name?
Yeah, so the thing about me and names and lyrics is I just say stuff and I'm like, that sounds cool. I would really like to like say that there's some like elaborate meaning behind it. Like some of my songs may have like elaborate, deeper under meanings, but like I just was like, I don't know, if it rolls off my tongue and it feels good when I say it, I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I don't know, I just like things to feel good.
Sweet.
Yeah. But then that song in particular was actually supposed to sort of be like a follow-up song, because from my first album there was this song called Witch of the Woods, and that was about this woman who I used to be in love with, and she was always like super witchy, so like I was like pretty fascinated by that kind of stuff. And then I lived in the mountains for a little bit of time, and I don't know, I kind of took on this wizard type vibe. And so I was like, well, this song is going to be about me now.
There you go.
Yeah. So
awesome. So here is Wizard of the Mountains by Samtar.
Tempted in the rain, I'm led astray. know when we don't think for ourselves at all. Does any of this make any sense? Or are we trapped again? I don't have the answer. I must come clean. You broke the spell over me, exhausted by the fog and tempted in the rain. I'm led astray by the dark again. I don't need the answer. I won't come clean. You can't break the spell over me. I'm lost in the fog and dancing in the rain. I won't be led astray again.
And we are back. Wow, that's such a great song.
Wow, it's almost like I sang it or something.
You did. I had my private concert right now. Anyway,
Yep.
I do actually. Well, you know, like I said, that's the album that you had autographed and sent to me, and I really enjoyed that album.
Sweet.
So next we have your most recent acoustic single, "Lost in a Dream." Is there anything specifically you'd like to say about that you haven't mentioned already?
I'd like to talk more about what it's about, but I don't want to. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you and I could talk about it.
No problemo. Sometimes talking about stuff is exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, also
especially when you have to
like,
think about what you want to say.
Well, not just that. Like sometimes, you know, I'll write a song and then like, you know, it'll be a specific topic, and then months go by and I'm like, man, it's very naive of me to feel that way. Or like, I don't know, like I just like in hindsight, I'm like I still like the song. I like the subject matter and everything. But admitting that it's about that thing, I'm like, I just don't feel that way anymore.
Right.
And I just feel like almost embarrassed by this now rested like emotion.
Yeah. So. It's almost like Facebook memories from like 10 years ago.
Oh my God, I hate that shit. Every time one of those pops up and it's like something where I actually said something serious, because like I mostly just shitpost on Facebook, I'm like, what the fuck, Sam? Like, why? You should never take yourself seriously. Stop.
Here is Lost in a Dream by Samtar.
Yeah.
As soon as I wake up, I want to go back to sleep. I want to disappear and never have to dream again. A fog clouds the vision that I once admired. The reason has left, and now all that I desire is the nothingness that has been enveloping me. The shallow consciousness that doesn't ever get to speak. Unless it's spoken to, assure yourself that you're not worth it. But I'll tragically remind you that no one is. A repeat of last night now developing. You wanna break the cycle, well just listen. Easily done, harder to run away. When you can't breathe, I don't want to know the way to go. If it leads me back here, like a shapeshifter washing away all the pages from before. Would you reckon